indifference. Hello, this is Whinge, I guess. Not the first Whinge, technically the first Whinge. The actual first, or what I suppose is going to be the first Whinge, is actually going to be something that's going to be heavily edited and heavily scripted. This could be a so, but it's just going to be me complaining all the time, so it's not a so. So I felt it'd be better suited to the Whinge title. Regardless, fucking played Contra demo. It's bad in many ways. This just get like there's core problems with the game. This is get the fucking obvious stuff out of the way, the stuff that doesn't really matter. The game looks like ass. They may say this, well, why do you mean that doesn't matter? It doesn't fucking matter. Okay, at a certain point it's just graphics, whatever. To butcherly paraphrase one Maximilian of the family dude of the land of Yo. At a certain point, regardless of how fancy graphics may be, you're going to just ignore them at a point. Case in point, one of my favourite fighting games in the past few years, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Team Tidy Whitey for lifey. Yeah, real core looks like ass. It bloody does. The textures are blurry as hell. The models itself is kind of whatever. Sound design is generally bad. The fucking guns have no fucking real power behind them. The bloody homing missiles goes
switch your guns
like a fucking asthmatic bloody doing a fucking lung pressure test. And if you're wondering how I know what that sounds like, it's because that would have been me about 17 or so years ago. And then at the very end, you get this trailer for the game, and it ends in possibly the flattest, most fucking flaccid rendition of the Contra victory theme that I may have ever heard. And then with this music, which is a very rare instance, and when it is cause for celebration, you realise that you shouldn't actually be celebrating it because it also is kind of nothing, with the potential of being crap. Also, why is there swearing in Contra? The last time I've seen swearing this unnecessary is when I ad-libbed a line for a bloody video, leaving no stone unfucked. I actually kind of regret that one. So what's the core problem? We're talking about the fucking core problem. The core problem is the gameplay at a fundamental level. Contra Road Core is a twin-stick shooter. What's the fundamental part of a fucking twin-stick shooter? The act of aiming. You rotate one stick to move, you use the other to fucking aim. So what do you think is the best, most satisfying thing to do? Say you're pointing the direction of the stick north. You say, there's something behind me, you point south. What's the best thing that can happen? You snap around to the other side to keep up the flow of the game. Not so in Contra Road Core. No. You must rotate around, making it take just a little bit longer than need be. It makes it feel awkward. Now you may be saying this, well, that isn't realistic if you were just to snap around. Is it? Who fucking cares? Fucking Contra. We're not here for realism. It's you go from that, so that slows down the pace of the game. Generally, the game feels slow, and just the movement, never mind the fucking aiming. The aiming itself, never mind the fucking rotation to do a 180, is very slow. When you get the tutorial for aiming, there's these little flying buggers, but the problem is the aiming is so slow that by the time you aim at them, they're already away. So it means you're constantly trying to catch up to them, and there is some snap to the aim, as you would fucking hope. But it doesn't feel strong enough, or maybe it's too strong that it's stopping your aim before you can actually aim at them. I'm not entirely sure. Other problem. You know Contra, game where you run from left to right, typically. You constantly dumping your fucking gun, whatever's in the way. You know what this needs? No. What Contra needs. You can fucking overheat your weapons. Why can you overheat your weapons? Why is this a thing? The developer thinks just Contra needs realism. People do not snap in 180s. People do not have guns that can fire infinitely. And if they did, surely if they did, they would possibly overheat at some point, so you need to let them cool down. Did someone back and look at Devil May Cry 2 and say, look, they did realism, why can't we? No, overheating does not. They may say, well, why is the problem? And there's more a case of, like, why is it there? Why is it something I have to consider? Because they do nothing with it. They got the fodder enemies that say went down in one hit, and they were infinite. You had to fucking dodge around and try to manage not to overheat. But there's nothing, there is no intelligence in any of the fucking encounter design. It's just, here's a wave. Alright, you fought them. Here's a wave. Alright, you fought them. Here's a wave. Alright, you fought them. Now, you say that's pretty standard, yes, but also you combine this with the fact that everything has health bars, everything takes a while to kill, that the guns can overheat, your movement is slow, it's just everything takes an eternity. And what I fucking forgot as well is What's the best thing you do in Contra? You get your power-ups, you get your fucking spread shot, you get your homing missile, you get laser. What's the best thing you can do with that mechanic in a new Contra? I know, make it fucking time limited. It's the entry. Fucking aspect of this game has been designed to be anti-Contra, or at the very least anti-fucking fun. And then when you take into account things like the tone, it's like, hey, the game does this. It's like the tone of the game is completely mismatched with the gameplay. But then, oh no, be careful, you might overheat your gun. It's like, fucking what? Do you want madness, or do you want a fucking slowly paced, methodical twin-stick shooter? What are we after here? What is our goal? Then you get to the boss, which is another fucking nothing encounter, which just practically just stands there and you just dump on it. I guess you can maybe move the side a little bit when it starts to fucking fire at you, but you're in no fucking hurry because the projectile takes an eternity, and then it's just then you say, we'll bring in some fucking extra enemies, that will liven us up, and it doesn't, because why the fuck would it? The boss just does nothing. And you say that might be nothing new for Contra, and yeah, you're right, but the last time I fought a boss that did nothing, it was a literal fucking wall. And this here is just, here it is, just shoot it, walk, shoot it, walk, shoot it, and then get bored and then just use all your bombs, and then it's dead. Okay, here's the thing. As much as I said all this is terrible, and I think it is, it's all terrible in my mind for Contra. The game itself is fine at best. In fact, I might know that seems too strong. It's fucking boring. It's nothing. There is nothing interesting in this game. The game isn't even, I wouldn't even call it mechanically solid. It's mechanically, well, it works. It's just none of the systems are fucking interesting. The enemies aren't interesting. Visually, it's most certainly not interesting. Audio-wise, it's not interesting. It's like, there's nothing here. This is a nothing game. I'm gonna shut up now.